You are watching No Filter with Debbie. These are my views and opinions. Welcome to No Filter with Debbie. I'm Debbie Schlussel, and you know what's driving me crazy? Joe Biden. He's gone more nuts than normal, and he's destroying America. Today it was announced, or yesterday, it was announced that he is giving away our intellectual property. That's right. You, the U.S. taxpayer, paid for Joe Biden to subsidize China and the People's Republic of the Democratic Republic of the People of North Korea. Yes, you paid for that. You paid for the vaccine. You paid for the research. We developed the vaccine because of Donald Trump. No other president would have done this. If George Bush had been president, let alone Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden, we would not have a vaccine. It is because Donald Trump pushed these companies to develop a vaccine. That's why we have it. And now what are we doing? U.S. taxpayer dollars that subsidize this research are basically now backing China and the Democratic Republic of North Korea. That is not so democratic at all, in fact, the fictionally named. We're giving them our technology. That's right. So first I want you to take a look at the tweet that is announcing this. Take a look. All right, so this is from the trade ambassador, Ambassador Catherine Tai. I think that's how her name is pronounced, Catherine Tai. These extraordinary times and circumstances of call, I think she shouldn't have put the of there, call for extraordinary measures. The U.S. supports the waiver of intellectual property protections on COVID-19 vaccines to help end the pandemic and will actively participate in World Trade Organization negotiations to make that happen. And then she's got a press release, the Office of the United States Trade Representative. So she's our trade ambassador to the world. She's our ambassador to the World Trade Organization. She's giving it away. And it's not her, it's Joe Biden. She does whatever she does at the behest of Joe Biden and Kamala. This is their policy. We are giving it away for free. I have no problem with helping the rest of the world. That's great. Fine. Nice. But at a cost. This should not be free. We should subsidize China. China is giving us loans, and we are paying extraordinarily high, exorbitant interest on China's loans. And then we're going to give this for free to China? They're laughing at us all the way to the bank. Those stupid capitalists, they're not so capitalist after all. You know who the real capitalists are? China, the Chinese, because they're making money left and right off of us, and then we're giving them this for free? What? This is absurd. They should have to pay, as should North Korea and any other country that uses our intellectual property that we funded, we subsidized it. Yes, I know Dolly Parton bragged all over the place she gave $1 million. Her $1 million is a drop in the bucket. It's chump change. She did not fund these virus vaccinations. She did not. The fact is, without her $1 million, this would still be here. We would still have a vaccine. It had nothing to do with Dolly. It had all to do with Donald. Yes, Donald Trump. So now we're giving this away. Donald Trump gets the companies to develop it in warp speed, as the operation was called, and Joe Biden gives it away for free in warp speed. This is absurd. What are we doing? What are we doing? All right, now, I'm not the only one who thinks this is crazy. Take a look at these tweets from two senators. First, there's Senator John Cornyn from Texas. U.S. taxpayers help fund the research into developing mRNA vaccines, including the early research and development by Moderna. The waiver of IP protections, intellectual property protections, would effectively be giving U.S. taxpayer-funded research to China and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is the name of North Korea. And look at the CNBC tweet below that he retweeted. Pfizer, BioNTech, Novavax, Moderna, all have a plunge in the stock market yesterday. Why? Because their intellectual property is being given away for free. Why did they develop this in warp speed to just give it away so that any drug company can rip it off? There are already laws in place that allow companies, other drug companies, to get the information to make vaccines, drugs, everything else after a certain number of years. There are laws in place. There's no reason to waive these laws and have this happen now. And in fact, I believe there will be lawsuits over this. I do believe that Joe Biden is stepping over the line by doing this. I don't believe that he actually has the authority to do this, even with an executive order. And I think we'll be seeing lawsuits over this. So that's Senator Cornyn. Now, Senator Cotton had something to say about it from Arkansas. Take a look. Stealing medical technology from American companies to give to China won't result in more vaccines, but it will jeopardize vaccine development for future pandemics. That's absolutely right. If I'm a company, why am I going to put money and time and effort into speeding up the development of something when it's all going to be stolen from me? This is what they do in communist countries. This is what they did in this former Soviet Union. This is what they do in Cuba. Well, they never invent anything of consequence, so they don't do it, but they would. This is what they do in Saudi Arabia. They seize successful companies and industries, and they nationalize them, which gives zero incentive for anybody ever again after that to develop or create anything. Why should they? They wouldn't. Because why are you going to work hard to build a business or build an invention or build a vaccine, create a vaccine, if it's just going to be stolen from you and given to your enemies to harvest all the value from it and steal it from you? You would not. Anybody who understands economics would know this, but Joe Biden doesn't. And that is the problem. I think, do we have another tweet from Tom Cotton? The Chinese Communist Party is already celebrating this gift from President Biden. And there you see Chen Weiwei from Chinese media, which means the Chinese government, because we know the media is controlled by the Chinese government. So global pressure works, and I hope it does not take forever for this to be a reality. See, they are celebrating because they don't have to pay for this, even though they are soon to become, very soon, the largest economy in the world, much larger than ours, so they're going to be a richer country than ours, and they already hold the notes to all of our loans, or many of them. Why would we give them this? Why? And I could see maybe some indigent countries, we could help them out. But these countries, China, North Korea, come on, man. All right, so there's that. Now, another way we are helping China and basically picking up the slack for China is Joe Biden's green energy policies. Joe Biden rejoining the Paris Accords. Joe Biden saying we have to cut emissions by half in the next 8 to 10 years. That's going to destroy America's oil industry. Texas and North Dakota, the number 1 and 2 producers of oil, forget about it. They're going to be out of business. He already shut down the Keystone XL pipeline and killed jobs that way. So here is what we're doing. We're subsidizing China, which is the largest emitter, the largest producer of emissions and pollution of any country on earth. They're not a signatory to the Paris Accords. They are not going to abide by this. So why should we? Take a look at this tweet. So this is from a journalist, Marie Oakes. China now emits more greenhouse gases than the rest of the developed world combined. Research shows China alone contributed over 27% of total global emissions, far exceeding the U.S., the second highest emitter, which contributed 11% of the global total. So we're less than half of them. We're almost only a third of them. We're subsidizing this, and we're giving them vaccines. All right. When we come back, we'll have you learn about some more absurdities that Joe Biden is doing to kill America, to destroy American jobs and the American people. We'll show you what it is, that and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha. The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness. During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark. Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close. Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars for just $39.99. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. This TV special offer is not available on Amazon. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-619-1091. That's 1-800-619-1091. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA.
If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So Joe Biden is destroying America. You've heard about some of his policies, but there are many things I'll bet you probably haven't heard about yet. And these things are outrageous. And the latest one is the Restaurant Restoration Fund. So the Small Business Administration, as you know, gives out loans. And there has been a program like this before where they said that they were going to favor minorities, but they didn't really spell it out. They also said they wanted to give vaccines first to minorities and then women and people of color before everybody else, which is outrageous. It's absurd. It's a violation of federal, state, and local civil rights laws. And it's racist and it's bigoted and it's sexist. You cannot do these things in America and then charge people with crimes and sue them when the shoe is on the other foot. You cannot. But that's what our government does. If they said, well, we're going to favor white-owned restaurants first, are you kidding? Or male-owned restaurants first? That would never be allowed today. Never, ever. But I'll tell you what's going on. Restaurant owners who are white males are last in line, the very last in line. So I want you to take a look at this graphic from the Small Business Administration. This is from the website for the Restaurant Restoration Fund. Priority groups. So these are the groups that the first 22 days will be considered. And then if there's money left over, everybody else will be considered. A small business concern that is at least 51% owned by one or more individuals who are women, veterans. Great. I'm glad they're veterans. But guess what? If veterans are not women or socially and economically disadvantaged or minorities, as described on this, they're going to be last. Then it says applicants must self-certify in the application. They meet the eligibility requirements. Socially disadvantaged individuals are those who've been subject to racial and ethnic prejudice or cultural bias because of their identity as a member of a group and without regard to their individual qualities. So you think if you're a member of the white race that you say, well, I've been subject to racial prejudice, which I have, by the way. I live in a majority black area, and I've had repeated instances where I've been subject to racial and cultural bias by black-owned stores, by stores that have only black customers, and then I'm in there. This is a black area where I live, and I've had many of these things happen to me, and I have details. Let's go back to that graphic again, though, because I want to read one more part of that. So economically disadvantaged individuals are those socially disadvantaged individuals whose ability to compete in the free enterprise system has been diminished or impaired due to diminished capital and credit opportunities as compared to others in the same business who are not socially disadvantaged. So in other words, if you have bad credit, which the statistics show often involves minorities, but if you have bad credit because you haven't managed things well, you haven't paid your bills, and you've screwed your creditors, you're going to get rewarded first. Is that really what we want to do in this economy? Is that the kind of behavior we're supposed to reward? That should not happen. Everybody should be treated equally with this. It should be first come, first serve, not this affirmative action for minorities and women and people who have bad credit. Really? This is what we want to do in the United States of America, where we used to reward people for their talent and their merit, and now we're rewarding them for their accident of birth and skin complexion and for their lack of credit management skills? Really? Come on, man. This is the Biden administration. Trump did not do this. This is a Biden thing. All right? Now, if Hunter Biden were applying for this, they'd make an exception for him because, he's socially disadvantaged in so many ways. Drug addicts don't typically pay their bills so well or manage their credit. So there's that. Now, there's Biden immigration policies, which are getting way worse. So we now know that Biden's immigration enforcement is the worst ever. I want you to take a look at this tweet from Nicholas Meroff. Nick Meroff is not a conservative. He's a liberal Washington Post reporter who covers immigration. And he says, ICE deportations fell in April to the lowest monthly level on record. So this is in the history that they've been keeping records of deportations in America. April, under Joe Biden, April 2021 is the lowest. And again, this is not from a conservative publication. It's from the liberal Washington Post. What does that tell you? It tells you it's probably even worse than that, because they try to couch things in the most palatable terms for Joe Biden. Now, take a look at this tweet from Mark Krikorian, who is from the Center for Immigration Studies, a great organization, and they are probably the best pro-secure borders organization. Them, Numbers USA, and FAIR, the Federation for American Immigration Reform, are the three best organizations watching out for our borders. And he says, everyone understands this isn't about seeking asylum, but rather permanent relocation to the U.S., because none of the people who are let in under Joe Biden will ever be made to leave whatever happens to their asylum claim, assuming they even bother to file one. And this is a Wall Street Journal article. Migrant families are allowed into the U.S. for the first time in more than a year. And let me tell you what this is about. So we've talked about this on this show. President Trump instituted a great program. All these people saying we need asylum in America, we are persecuted because of our religion, because of our ethnicity, because of our sexuality. We are persecuted and we can't stay in our country because we could be killed or tortured. Well, Donald Trump said, great. I'm glad you left your country. We will think about letting you into America, but before you come and before you have your hearing, which could be 5 years from now, Again, assuming, as Mark Krikorian pointed out, you even file an asylum claim, which many do not. They just disappear into the great American abyss. While you do that, you're going to have to remain in Mexico. This was referred to as the Remain in Mexico program because Donald Trump said, great, Mexico is safe. It's much safer than your country you said you were coming from. Stay there. We'll look at your claim. And if we decide that you have a valid claim, which many of these people don't, most of them are liars. Let's be honest. They know what to say. They've been heavily coached. They're lying. They want to come here to take advantage of our economic opportunities, our welfare society, and so on. They're lying. So Donald Trump said, we know a lot of you are lying. We'll take a look. We'll let you know and have fun in Mexico. Try Cancun. The beaches are nice. Well, Joe Biden said, no. He said, that's not who we are. Letting all these people in, that's who we are. He loves those phrases. So he let them all in. And over 1,000 families in April were let in. And many, many more are coming. That's in addition to the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of children and children accompanied by parents that he's already let in. So this is a disaster, and it's a disaster where he just basically added fuel to the fire. This is terrible, and we are not going to recover from this. We aren't. This is going to be irreparable because we know that illegal aliens' children, they're all going to have anchor babies. You know it, and I know it. They're going to vote, and they typically vote left-wing, Democrat, for at least 2 or 3 generations. So good luck with that, America, and goodbye, Republican Party. This is what that means. All right, so there's that. Now, we are almost at the break, but first I want you to take a look at this tweet from Hamid Al-Aziz. And I happen to know Hamid Al-Aziz. He used to be a reporter in San Francisco, and he covered immigration and ICE. He's not pro-secure borders. He's a Muslim who believes that we should open our borders. He's anti-ICE. I happen to know him because he was working on stories about ICE leadership under Trump, and he's not on our side in terms of secure borders and what's best for America. But even he is reporting these bad things. And he said, ICE will no longer seek to collect fines from people who fail to leave the country. So what you probably don't know is that most illegal aliens in our country did not sneak through the border. No. They came here legally. They came here on tourist visas, on special talent visas, like a model or a hockey player or a software programmer, unfortunately, comes here under H-1B visas. We have plenty of programmers that are out of work because of these people. We don't need them. And you come here on an agricultural worker visa. There are many different ways you can come here. Student visa. You come here, you never show up for class, or you showed up for class, but then you dropped out, or you decided a year of college is enough, or you just want to stay here after college is over. Those are the people that make up the majority of our legal aliens in this country. They are visa overstays or visa violators. They've come here legally on these way too generous visas, and they never leave. And we don't track them. We have no way of tracking them because certain Republicans, I hate to say this, but a Republican by the name of Darrell Issa, who was reelected to Congress, who's from California. He is of Syrian and Lebanese descent. He was a friend of Palestinian PLO, Palestinian terrorist leader Yasser Arafat, and he is friendly with Hezbollah, the Islamic terrorist group that murdered more Americans than any other group other than Al-Qaeda. He and another Arab American senator, Spencer Abraham from Michigan, who went on to become Bush's energy secretary, both very pro-Islamic terrorists, they starved the system so that we could never track aliens coming into this country. So that's who most of the illegal aliens are. And when they overstay, they have to pay fines, especially if they're caught. But now ICE isn't collecting those anymore, as Hamid Al-Aziz pointed out. All right, when we come back, we'll have some crazy video of Joe Biden. This man is not well or long for this presidency. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-270-1219. That's 1-800-270-1219. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single-game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So we're talking about what Joe Biden is doing to destroy the country, and he's not all there. So take a look at this video and see if you can interpret what he is saying. He says it, we have it 3 times. See if you can figure this out.
Guess what? Cozy got me. Guess what? Cozy got me. Guess what? Cozy got me.
All right, so our sound is a little better than online sound, but this was online yesterday, last night, and most people could not hear what Joe Biden was saying. And after I listened to it this morning, I knew he was saying, guess what? It grows the economy. But he's so creepy. His voice is so weak and feeble. You cannot tell what he's saying. You know what he reminds me of there? He reminds me of, well, when I was watching this, I said, oh my God, the president is the clown from It. It's It the Clown. There is kind of a resemblance there, I'm just saying. The voice is the same, and the face is, well, pretty similar. He's the Joker or It the Clown. All right, so there's that. Now, we have another video. He cannot speak. Listen to this.
Job creation is soaring. The economy is growing, and our country is on the move again. But some of the parts of our economy need special help. At the top of that list is our nation's restaurants. When COVID-19 pandemic struck, our nation's restaurants were some of the first hit and the worst hit. In 2020, more than 2.3 million restaurants jobs disappeared. 2.3 million restaurant jobs disappeared. Restaurants are more than a major driver of our economy. They're woven into the fabric of our communities.
He's stumbling, he's mumbling, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He gets the numbers wrong, he keeps correcting himself. What? This guy is very feeble. He is not competent to be our president. It's very clear. He's not there. That plus the creepy video we showed you just before this, he's just not all there. And he's talking about how he's going to fix the restaurants. That was him announcing that program, the Restaurant Restoration Fund. How is he going to fix it if he's only giving it to minorities and women and people with bad credit? Huh? What? This is not how you bring America back. It's how you make America worse. It's how you destroy America. And he's well on his way to doing that. Congratulations, Joe Biden. You're the worst president in American history. I believe that. I believe at this point he is worse than Barack Obama, worse than Jimmy Carter. And we're only 4 months and some change in. Can you imagine how much worse it's going to be? In fact, we're only 4 months in if you count he was sworn in January 20th. So January 20th, May 20th is going to be the 4 months. Good luck, America. Good luck. Less than 4 months in, and look what he's already done. All right, so there's that. Now, speaking of the Biden administration, there's the woman that's really pulling the puppet strings. She's the marionette operator, and that is Kamala Harris. And she and her husband are into the same mask theater that we showed you the other day with Jill and Joe Biden. So look at them and their masks. Take a look at this video. So, first of all, her pants are too short. But anyway, they're kissing with their masks on. What? First of all, why do they have masks on at all? They're both vaccinated. Secondly, and they were vaccinated, by the way, under President Trump. Secondly, why do they have masks on outside? You're not going to get COVID outside like that. There's nobody there. There's just them. It's not like they're in a crowd. Number 3, kissing with your masks on? Come on. This is just the height of hypocrisy, the height of absurdity, and the height of theater. It's theater. Those are props. And basically, they're telling people if you're vaccinated, it doesn't matter. You still got to wear a mask. You still got to wear it outside. Didn't the CDC say that outside in small groups of people you could take your mask off? Remember we showed you that absurd graphic? They said that. This is one of the 2 instances where you could take your mask off according to the CDC if you're vaccinated. They did not take it off. All right? So this is ridiculous. We are never going to get our freedoms back unless we take them back. And I'm not saying with riots. We believe in law and order. We're not like the rioters who looted and destroyed businesses all the past year and continue to do so. We're not like them. We know how to take things back legally, and we need to do so. Get off your butts and take America back. All right, when we come back, we have news. We showed you a cop who had a lot of very funny things to say about LeBron James, and something happened to him, but he's fighting back and he has won. We will show you what we're talking about after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For example, you get my 6-piece towel sets, regular $109.99, now only $44.98, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA.
If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Seniors, are you aware that you could pay less for your car insurance?
Seniors can save money on their car insurance.
You might save a little, you might save a lot.
Maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
You might save 5% a year, maybe 10%, 15%, or even more.
That's a lot of money.
So call right now and find out just how much money you might be able to save.
1-800-699-0761. 1-800-699-0761.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and at Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So as you'll recall, a couple of weeks ago when all the Ma'Khia Bryant stuff was going down and a police officer in Ohio, Officer Reardon, saved the life of the woman that Ma'Khia Bryant was going to stab in the gut, was a very good shot, told her to freeze. She did not listen. She was about to kill this woman. And LeBron James sent out his photo in a tweet saying, "You're next," which is a threat of violence, and then put hashtag accountability. So a cop, we showed this to you, a cop named Nate Sylvester from Idaho made a very entertaining and I think spot on targeted video to LeBron James about what's really going on and how hypocritical and ridiculous LeBron James is. So he is fighting back because guess what happened? He was suspended, but he's back on the job, and we will give you more details about it. But first, I want to repeat this video. It's very clever. Take a look.
Dispatch, I've arrived at that disturbance. Will you have LeBron call my cell phone right away, please? Thank you. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. No, can you put the knife down, please, sir? Sir, no, sir, don't stab it. No, stop stabbing. Stop. Oh, hold on. It's LeBron. LeBron, hey, yeah, it's me again. Listen, I'm out here at this disturbance call, and there's a guy trying to stab another guy with a knife. What do you think I should do? Why does that matter? Okay, well, they're both black. One guy's trying to stab another guy with a knife. Deadly force is completely justified. Uh-huh. I see. So you don't care if a black person kills another black person, but you do care if a white cop kills a black person, even if he's doing it to save the life of another black person? I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then again, you are really good at basketball, so I guess I'll take your word for it. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks, LeBron. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. What? Nothing. I gotta go. Sorry, guys. You're on your own. Good luck.
Hey, Chief LeBron. Yeah, I've seen some naked dude running down 5th Avenue. Yeah, 90 degrees weather, yes. So, perfectly acceptable. Okay, you know better than us, so, yeah, understand. I'll go shoot some hoops then. All right, take care.
I love that. So the first cop is Nate Sylvester, and he is a marshal, which is the name for a cop in Idaho in a certain town that he's from. And guess what? They suspended him. The mayor of the town, Ned Burns, announced it. We don't approve of that. It's not right. They suspended him without pay, and they were going to fire him. But the backlash was swift and severe, and he's back on the job. He's keeping his job. And listen to this. He may have lost his pay for a few weeks, but he made a lot more back. First of all, a GoFundMe campaign was seeking $500,000 for Nate Sylvester, and I looked it up before we went to tape the show today, and it's already over $498,000. So it's almost there. And some people donated, somebody donated $15,000. A few people donated $5,000 or a little over $5,000. Boy, good for you. Very generous. So this guy's going to do very well. And he signed a book deal. And that's not it. There's more. It's like a Ginsu knife in one of those old commercials. Wait, there's more. And the more is that when he made this video, before anybody knew who he was, a lot of people already knew because he had something like 150,000 TikTok followers. Now he has over 331,000 followers. So he has more than doubled it, and he's doing okay. So good for him. Listen, we have to fight back. And sometimes when they tell you, oh, what this cop said on his own time in a country that believes in the First Amendment, and remember, he's a public employee, when they suspend somebody without pay for that and try to make them suffer, if we know about it, we can help them out and show the powers that be, like Mayor Ned Burns, that that is not okay. And listen, was there anything offensive in what he said? No. Was anything he said not true? Was it not a good point that he was making, that LeBron James is clueless and did not care about the woman who was about to be stabbed in the gut? No, everything he said was correct. So good for him. Now, what does LeBron James do in response? Well, a couple of days ago, he puts up this tweet. Take a look. So he says, I fueled the wrong conversation. Sure, because he got a lot of backlash and people see what he's all about Ma'Khia Bryant, and I owe it to her and this movement to change it. Thank you for educating us about Ma'Khia and her story and why that this needs to be about her. What? It needs to be about her? She was a would-be murderer. If it were not for that cop, somebody would be dead and she would be behind bars where she belonged if she weren't dead and if she had been successful. So, or tried to be successful and almost got there. So LeBron James did not do the classy thing. He could have put out a tweet saying, what I said was wrong. I made a mistake. I rushed to judgment. I apologize, Officer Reardon, and I hope you'll forgive me. Let's meet up. Why don't you come to one of my games? That would have spoken volumes. He would have gotten so much credit for that. I would have actually forgiven him for all of this. Not that it's my place to forgive him, only that officer can. But I would have thought, wow, classy move. He finally did the right thing for once in his life. A broken clock is right twice a day, and he's right once in a few decades. But no, he can't bring himself to do that because that's the kind of person he is. He's a narcissistic, egomaniacal jerk. He's arrogant for no reason. What is he an expert on? Nothing. Playing basketball, like the officer pointed out. He knows nothing about law enforcement, nothing about justice. He's a hypocrite. Remember, he's the guy who said, well, I'm all for social justice, but all my fellow basketball player peons, they could wear the social justice warrior t-shirts. I'm not going to wear one. And you know what? Everybody else was forced to wear one. He didn't have to. Why? Because he thinks he's special and above all of us, not just his colleagues in the NBA. He's a fraud, a hypocrite, and he's arrogant. All right, now, I wonder what he would say if he saw this video. Probably nothing because the officers are black. But take a look. This is what happens when you have black officers confronting, and by the way, one of the officers with Derek Chauvin was black, remember that. But this is what happens when you have black officers confronting thugs and criminals. Take a look.
I got all that. Don't worry about it. I'm not touching them. I got all that, damn it. I got all that.
Could a white officer, 2 white officers, get away with that? Hell no, they could not. So I have a solution. Even though I know segregation is illegal in America, here's what we need to do. We need to have black officers patrolling black neighborhoods and white officers patrolling white neighborhoods. That will never happen. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. But that's the only way you won't get this wrongful outcry from idiots like LeBron James. Now, before we go to the break, I just want you to take a look at this video and let me just introduce it. So, LeBron James and many others said that this cop was wrong to shoot the woman. Juan Williams said the cop should have shot in the air, not at Ma'Khia Bryant. Others said that he should have tased her, which we all know what happened when an officer tried to tase somebody in Brooklyn Center and she made a mistake. He made the right call. But look at what happens when you tase some people. It doesn't work. Check this out.
I'll get you. Get on the ground.
Does not work. All right, when we come back, why is Target glorifying looting and burning down of buildings? They are, and we'll show you the goods after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? After all, a visit to the dentist can easily cost $2,000 or more. Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call now and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. Activate your card and you can start using it immediately. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures like crowns, dentures, even braces, they're all included with the Carefree Dental Card. Say you go to the dentist today without any card and your bill is, well, ouch. Wait a minute, let's try that again. You go to the dentist today and show your Carefree Dental Card, you save $525. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month, so call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-416-5739 to receive your Carefree Dental Card information kit. 1-800-416-5739. Call now.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
I can't say enough good things about these nano hearing aids.
Real people talking about nano hearing aids.
The hearing quality is great.
Until now, hearing aids used to be too expensive for the average person. Until nano. Call now and you'll get your nano hearing aids for only $297. You'll save $100. When you buy one hearing aid, Nano will give you a second hearing aid free. Call right now.
1-800-213-3815.
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. What happens with national debt? Does anybody even care anymore? Do you think Governor Burgum truly understands the legislative process?
You know, I think he's got a better understanding now than he did 2 years ago.
Why in the world are we having a conversation about being anti-vaccination? Down the Road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So Target, many of us shop there, and Target is not doing the right thing. We told you on this show months ago that Target shut down its downtown Minneapolis store. It did this for one reason, because of looting and because of the violence that was going on. It also said it was not getting business because of probably the looting and the violence that's going on. People don't want to risk their lives and go through that to go shopping. So Target shut it down. But what did Target do to that store since then? Well, they have a mural on the building. And the mural says that Target supports Black Lives Matter. That's bad enough. But they're honoring burning down buildings. Look at this. So we build together is what their slogan is. Look at this. They've got a mural of buildings burning down and people cheering and putting their arms up in the Black hand salute. I can't breathe, so therefore I get to burn down buildings. Target is honoring this on their building. What? This is absurd. This should not happen. And listen, I know we cannot boycott every company that is doing this, because sadly, every company is doing this, and we would basically have to live like cavemen in the woods if we wanted to boycott everybody that's doing this. But you need to make your voices heard. You need to tell people at Target, the management, maybe reach out to the corporate offices in Minneapolis, Stan. You need to tell them, this is where Target is headquartered. You need to tell them, this is unacceptable. How would you like it if all the Target stores were burned down? We don't want to pay higher prices for that. Well, guess what? Everybody else has to pay higher prices at other businesses. When they're destroyed, they're burnt down. And usually they don't rebuild. They don't get to the chance to sell products at higher prices. They just go out of business. This is not right that Target is glorifying this. This is horrible. There was a day and a time, like even a year and a half ago, that Target would never have done this. What has changed that they are glorifying violence and burning down of America? What has changed? This is unacceptable, and it still should be. You need to let Target know what you think. Google them. Call their corporate headquarters. Call their customer service number. Write letters, old-fashioned letters, where you write them and you put a stamp and you go to the snail mail U.S. Postal Service. We must make this stop in America. So there's Target. Now, I've been meaning to get to this. It's already old news, but it bears repeating. Patrice Concolors, we told you about her for palatial houses. We told you she was looking for a fifth in the Bahamas. We told you who she is. She's a Marxist, a hypocritical Marxist, because she seems to be like a capitalist to me. She is the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, and she held an event at a Malibu hotel where she spent over $26,000. And you know what the event is for? Reform LA jails. So while people are rotting in jail and in prison, and she is allegedly trying to make things better for them, instead, she's spending the money at Calamigos Guest Ranch and Beach Resort in Malibu, and also at the Malibu Conference Center. So this hotel, the Calamigos Hotel, it's $600 a night and more for rooms, minimum $600 a night, plus taxes and other expenses. She paid Asha Bandale, who is a consultant to this group and who wrote her Ghost wrote her autobiography, $260,000 as a consultant for this Reform LA jails. It sounds to me like they are not reforming LA jails as much as they are reforming their bank accounts and their lifestyles into one of luxury and fancy living at the expense of people who are donating to this, who think that they are going to help people in jail, and they're not. And by the way, she hangs out with Jane Fonda. Take a look. We've got a picture of her. So there she is, Patrice Concolors, with Hanoi Jane. Remember what Hanoi Jane did to our troops in Vietnam while we were at war. She's treasonous. She's a traitor. And there's her fellow traitor. They are birds of a feather, and they flock together. All right, now, related to this, a cop was killed. A cop was killed in New York. He was directing traffic, and he was murdered by a drunk driver. Now, you say, well, drunk driver, they didn't mean to kill a cop. They're drunk. They don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, especially if they're Jessica Beauvais, who killed the cop. The cop is white, and take a look at the killer. She's black. That's Jessica Beauvais. She is a podcaster. There you see her little microphone there. She drank and said, bleep the police right before she did it. And we have a tweet from NYPD Commissioner Bill Bratton. He's the police chief, basically. And he said, never forget NYPD officer Anastasios Tsakos, who last week gave everything in his dedication to serve others. And now he's dead because of this woman. Is this white privilege? I don't know. Doesn't look like it to me. All right, now, there's an LA driver who was doing donuts, and another LA driver accidentally hit him. He gets beaten. Watch this video. Do we have the video of the donuts? All right, I guess we don't have the video. All right, so listen, I want to end the show with an impression of Anthony Fauci. Take a look.
I'd say even if you live alone, I would wear a mask in the house, especially in the shower, because frankly, droplets can make the way through the drain and come up through somebody else's toilet, infecting them with COVID through the anus. Ballpark, in 2 to 5 to 20 years, we can start thinking about considering the idea of pondering, the thought of conceptualizing the possibility of maybe, perhaps, reopening, but probably not. I would avoid having any fun whatsoever in the near to far future.
Remember, things aren't always as they seem. See you tomorrow.